Can you win a Super Bowl with mediocre quarterback play in 2022? I keep hearing people say, I'm getting 2000 Ravens vibes. Like Jimmy can be Trent Dilfer and the Niners can win a Super Bowl. That was 22 years ago. And then the Bucs Super Bowl with John Lynch and Brad Johnson, the other mediocre quarterback who won a Super Bowl. That was 20 years ago. League has changed. The rules have changed. What do you think?
No, because we've seen this story twice and it hasn't worked out.
Yep.
I mean, you could argue this is probably the better defense than the Niners ever had last year. Obviously last year. And it's looking better than the 2019 one. We've seen this story before. We've seen it where even the only way it's going to happen if Jimmy elevates himself from mediocre play to average with above average moments.
For like a stretch in the playoffs, which he'll never do. Well, Nick Foles did it. Joe Flacco did it. Yeah.
You're asking for Flacco did it, and that was miraculous.
Flacco did it.
Itself. And since then, every quarterback.
And he was gunning the ball down the field 10 years ago.
Exactly. At least he had physical traits to actually do more than he wasn't limited. Basically, he wasn't limited, and you had a lot to play with that offense. And Jimmy is just not, unless he's going to be someone who's going to be darting it. Who's going to have like a handful of throws who can dart it 10 to 20 yards. It doesn't have to be the bomb, but he's threading the needle 20 to 15 yards, making nice conversions, doesn't turn it over. At that point, in terms of his game, he has to be perfect. And then the defense, like, God forbid, you're going to demand them to be at this elite level, which I know I talked about it last week because it's an unfair necessity, but that's what kind of seems the way it's going with this offense. But I'm short in that. The way it's going, we've seen the story before. It's going to be the same unless Jimmy somehow finds a great momentum that makes him play better than what he is.
Now, I think some people point to the 2015 Broncos. They won the Super Bowl. Their quarterback was 39-year-old Peyton Manning, who was awful that year. He threw 17 picks and 9 touchdowns in the regular season. In the playoffs, though, he only threw 1 pick. And he wasn't great, but he managed the game. He didn't lose it, and he let Cam Newton lose it with that fumble that he didn't jump on. I was there. I remember that. So, yeah, I mean, Jimmy could be mediocre, but the type that you have to have the best, like one of the best defenses ever. Maybe the Niners do, and you can't make dumb mistakes. You have to play like a 39-year-old veteran. Jimmy's never, ever, ever done that. Again, his best play against the Rams was the near pick six that turned into a touchdown because Deebo Samuel bailed him out. And then that nice throw to Kittle, dude, Ayuk was wide open. He's like, no, I don't want to throw to the wide open guy. Let me throw to the double covered guy. I mean, it was a nice throw, but it was also really difficult. And he didn't get a second foot in. Like, the easy one was right there, and he's like, oh, I don't throw to Ayuk. No, I'm good. So weird. So, I don't think you really can win I guess you can. But he'd have to become like a mature Alex Smith, Peyton Manning-esque game manager. And, like, I don't think Jimmy's that guy. I just don't. I don't.
Yeah, that's what I hope for is the same thing what Flav said is, I know he said it in his press conference after the Broncos game. Oh, I got to shake some rust off. Got to get back in a rhythm. And it's like, that was an excuse. But you know what? Jimmy has even looking back in 2019, he was always a rhythm thrower. That first half of the season, he was very average. And then he started stringing some games together. And it's like, okay, we got something here we can work with. If this guy can keep it up. And then he didn't after that Seahawks game. It's like, wow, if he's throwing it like this guy's on fire. The Niners are getting a great version of Jimmy. If he could play this, they're going to win the Super Bowl. And then he just became suppressed. Whatever the hell happened to him. If you can
the book's out on him. I think the book's out on him. Like, if he throws on first down, he can get away with it because defenses are so geared to stop the Niners' run game. But once they're in situations where they're probably passing, if they're down, if it's late, if it's the third quarter, like the coverages that he faces are all the same. It's always single high, hole defender, let's take away the middle of the field. And he's never going to throw deep to punish that. He's always going to try to force passes into those underneath zones to, get a 7-yard throw on 3rd and 6. And yeah, that first down is valuable, but you're also going to throw picks. You know what I mean? Like, so that 57-yard touchdown, that was 3rd and 3. You're forcing a 5-yard pass to a guy running a comeback. Most likely, he's going to get catch the ball, get tackled, and you'll just get 5 yards. And you're risking a pick six. Thankfully, it's Deebo, and he turned an awful decision into a great play. But that's Jimmy, man. He will risk it all for a 6-yard throw in the first quarter. Like, why? Why are you going to win the game one way or another because of your defense, but you need this 6-yard throw right now. Right now. And you're going to throw it in between 4 defenders. Like, all right, man. Well, keep doing that. See what happens. Anyway,
you just said he doesn't have the same way as a 39-year-old veteran in the league who in that moment he's not gonna be able to like pause for that 0.001 second in his head and be like, I can't throw this situational throw away or go somewhere. He's just not gonna do that. And again, that's why you got to somehow reach into your pocket and hope he can pull back the stopwatch and turn back time and be like, 2019 Jimmy, can we get some of that? Because that kind of was peak Jimmy. That was peak Jimmy, and if you can get anywhere of that, then you're good. But I mean, then you're gonna have to go back to play action plays. They don't run that. Gotta get a more trickeration with the counter plays. Doesn't run nearly as much as that. I feel like that. Any flip back, it just feels like a lot of bits. It's just underutilized. Again, going back to Kyle, dude, this is why you're the genius. This is why you get pay the big bucks. You gotta get away. Find the plays where your offense can execute it right, that you know you're going to get it down in practice, and the one that Jimmy's going to nail right on the money.
Yeah. Game managers are low-risk quarterbacks. Jimmy's a high-risk quarterback with low reward. And I guess, we praised him Monday night for not turning the ball over. Great. He nearly did. And don't do it anymore. Your job is to not throw picks. That's your job. That's your only job. Stop trying to be the star.